I'd like to call the City of Apache Junction Council meeting to order of March 18th, 2025, and ask everyone to put their cell phones on silence. The invocation will be led by Councilmember Cross, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be Councilmember Johnson.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this day of life and all of your blessings. Thank you for the opportunity to serve the people of Apache Junction. Please help us to conduct the business of the city with good character and conviction. Help us to hear with understanding and compassion. Help us to serve and see the humanity and dignity of those that disagree with us and treat all persons with great respect. Please bestow your blessings on our first responders and our military personnel. Please keep them safe. We ask these things with great appreciation of your love and goodness. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Wilson,
Here.
Vice Mayor Schroeder,
Present.
Councilmember Cross,
Here.
Councilmember Heck,
Here.
Councilmember Johnson,
Here.
Councilmember Nesser,
Present.
Councilmember Soller.
Here.
You have a quorum, Your Honor.
Thank you. Consent agenda. A reminder, items in the consent agenda will be approved with one motion. If a council member wishes to remove an item for further discussion, the request must be made prior to the consent agenda being approved and moved to new business. Do I have a motion?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I move that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call.
Excuse me, Your Honor. We do have a special motion that needs to be mentioned and spoke this night.
On the judicial matters.
Yep, there's more of the consent agenda.
Oh,
And there's
okay.
two parts to
Want
it.
me to do it?
I have a printed copy if you want me to bring that up.
Have it here, can I?
Yeah.
Right. I move that the consent agenda be accepted and approved as presented, and authorize presiding magistrate Thomas McDermott to execute the associate magistrate agreements for Michael Kielski, Liz Yen, Cody Weegent, Megan Weegent, and Geraldine Roll, and appoint as juvenile hearing officers presiding magistrate Thomas McDermott, associate magistrates Michael Kielski, Liz Yen, Cody Weegent, Megan Weegent, and Geraldine Roll be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Now roll call.
Thank you. Councilmember Cross,
Yes.
Councilmember Soller,
Yes.
Councilmember Heck,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Schroeder,
Yes.
Councilmember Nesser,
Yes.
Mayor Wilson.
Yes.
Passes unanimously, Your Honor.
Awards and presentations, proclamations. I have two here. Proclamation for Teen Dating and Violence Awareness. Whereas each year in the U.S., nearly 1.5 million high school students nationwide experience physical abuse from dating partners. And whereas in the U.S., 1 in 3 teens will experience physical, sexual, or emotional abuse. And whereas only 33% of teens who are in abusive relationship ever told anyone, and whereas teens who suffer dating abuse are subject to long-term consequences like alcoholism, eating disorders, proximity, thoughts of suicide, and violent behavior. Whereas the City of Apache Junction and the community must work together to ensure the safety of our teens, create a world where every teen can live free of dating violence. Now, therefore, I, Chip Wilson, Mayor, City of Apache Junction, do hereby proclaim Teen Dating Violence Awareness. Chief Poley. Okay.
Yep.
Mayor, members of council, I brought with me one of our school resource officers. This is Officer Crystal Hall. You know, this is something super important for us to always consider and to remember as a community. One of the things that our SROs are able to do is build rapport with our elementary school, junior high, and high school age students. An example was just recently we had one of our SROs get contacted by a young female that was involved in a relationship. And there were a lot of things that had happened in this relationship where she needed to talk to somebody. And she chose to talk to one of our school resource officers. Ultimately, it came that her boyfriend had been involved also in a drive-by shooting in Mesa, in a neighboring jurisdiction. She said she heard that he had also shot somebody during that drive-by. We did follow-up, and sure enough, there was somebody was on life support, was getting ready to be taken off because of this drive-by. But because of the information we were provided, because of the rapport of our school resource officer, it was something that led to an arrest of a very dangerous individual, a young individual that was involved in things similar like what we're talking about. And Crystal, you want to say something real quick about this?
I just want to thank the council members and the mayor for supporting us and being in the schools. It's very important. We impact our youth greatly, and they come to us for many different things, not just teen violence, but also all the other things that go on in our city that we're able to help with and help the community. So thank you for supporting us.
Thank you.
Chief, I just wanted to say thank you, and I want people to understand how much how important it is that you got SROs in almost every school in Apache Junction. Most communities don't do that. They have them in high schools, maybe a junior high. And education is key, you know that, and I'm really, really happy that you have all these SROs out there to make positive contacts with our youth, so they know that they have a safe place to go and someone to talk to.
Thank you very much, Councilman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This one's a little more personal for me. Vietnam War Veterans Day, March 29th, 2025. Whereas today we honor those who bravely served the Vietnam War, who sacrificed as they did their families on behalf of our nation. And whereas 52 years ago on March 29th, 1973, the last 2,500 American troops were withdrawn from South Vietnam, ending military involvement in what is now the longest war in our country's history. Whereas more than 600 men and women from great state of Arizona made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our country during the war, and whereas the spirit and pride and gratitude is a time to honor the heroic accomplishments of 58,000 service members and women whose names are listed on the Vietnam Memorial Wall. And whereas it's important that those who serve are honored and recognized to ensure that their great sacrifice, immeasurable contributions to our nation are never forgotten. Now, therefore, I, Chip Wilson, Mayor of the City of Apache Junction, Arizona, do hereby proclaim March 29th, 2025 as Vietnam War Veterans Day. And I'd like to present the proclamations to James Johnson, VFW Post 9399, Frank White, VFW Post 7968, Larry Renes, American Legion Post 27. You want to come up?
Your Honor. Your Honor. Before they speak, I'd like to invite every veteran that's in the room to come up and have their picture taken with our mayor.
Squeeze in.
So if all the veterans will please come forward.
You don't have to hide. Tall guys in the back. Tall guys in the back.
Jim.
Come on in there.
Oh, no.
There you go, guys. Thank you.
Smile.
Thank you, guys.
Guess I got chosen to talk. I had the pleasure of representing Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 9399 for the presentation of the proclamation last year. For the council members and the mayor and the staff of the city. If you'll remember, I kind of talked about how I was selfish for so many years and didn't think about the hardships and the worry and the thoughts that were going through my family and friends' head while I was serving in Vietnam. Thought about this today a little bit after I was informed that I was going to represent the post again, which again is a great honor. But on a note that touches me, as I was playing golf a few years ago at Augusta Ranch Golf Course, I went to go play golf by myself. So they teamed me up with another young gentleman. We rode in the cart together, playing golf. And through the conversation, we shared that we had both been in the military, and he had been a medic in the Navy, served in Desert Storm, Desert Shield. Or I also had put 2 tours in Nam. 1983, I was in the invasion of Grenada, and they retained me to stay in the Army for an extra year to go to Desert Shield and Desert Storm before they let me retire. So we got to talking and sharing our experiences of the military, and pulled up to the side of one green in the cart and got out of the cart, and we're walking up the bank to go to the green. And I stopped and I looked at this gent and I said, "You know something?" He said, "What's that, Chief?" And I said, "You owe us." And he stopped and he looked at me and said, "We know." And that was probably the most touching thing in the 52 years that I experienced since I left the Nam. Was I knew, how we were treated. And then to know that those vets that had gone through Desert Shield and how they were treated when they got home, they knew that we sacrificed not only over there, but even after we got back. So if I can speak for all of you, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your service. Well, you're a non-vet right along with us.
Thank you.
With that, I'll shut up.
Excuse me. Got me all choked up here. Regional intergovernment updates. Anyone have anything over here? No? Well, I want to just update. It's not a government aspect on it, but as you all know, I made the comments attending the Pinell County Fair, the last meeting, and I went again on down there. Of course, we had the country kickers Livestock 4-H Club, which is in Apache Junction, which is our local 4-H group, were there. And here is a couple of their turkeys, and they had a couple of kids that had some rabbits and some chickens, and they were auctioning them off. And the Country Kickers also had some goats and some sheep that they had, and one of the young ladies that was there, her lamb got a, not honorable mention, excuse me, second, came in second place, and they auctioned off the lamb. And what surprised me is the aspect is, of course, they're paying, per pound on the aspect on it, and her lamb, if I remember right, was just slightly over almost 150 pounds, and she got a little over $20 a pound for the bid, which was very, well in the aspect on it, and these kids are rewarded during this period of time. And we also went to where the kids were doing, some activities or things that they have done. This is a, if you notice, there's spoons or fork handles, and it's set up like a flower. And she welded, the girl that did this is 12 years old, and she welded this all up, the aspect on it. The next one is a 14-year-old, and my wife fell in love with it and decided to buy it too. And she welded this thing together and put it in and did the woodwork on the top, and it really turned out fantastic, and there were several other things there. So really our entire group of girls and boy there that were involved from our area well represented the city of Apache Junction, and I want to say a special thank you to them as well. Thank you. Okay, city manager's report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Bryant Powell, City Manager. Tonight, I'm pleased to share with you that we have several members of the Citizen Leadership Institute class of 2025 with us in the audience. They are halfway through their program and are a great group, and I'm super pleased that we have another great group going through the process of learning and growing and understanding their local government, and hope they'll continue to seek learning more about it. I also wanted to share that tonight I report that on the retreat a couple weeks ago, we've already started at the staff level working on coming up with a plan to bring back items throughout the year. First up was the legislative update, and that will be continual. Second up will be the district discussion that I think Joel has already got someone coming, April 14th, and so we'll get going on that. And then right behind that, we'll just keep coming with more and more items. I wanted to just say thank you. Thank you for your energy and effort in bringing those to us, and it gives us that work plan, and that we will be coming back more and more quarterly, giving those quarterly updates on how that progress is going. And then lastly, just wanted to add my thanks to our Vietnam veterans. That was really moving and wasn't expecting to feel what I felt tonight. And what an honor it is to have them, and on a very grateful, from a grateful city, I add my thanks. Your Honor, that concludes my report, but we do have a couple items for current events that I want to turn over to Eli.
Evening, Mayor, City Council. Bryant said just two things to cover tonight. Household Hazardous Waste Day, which takes place at our Public Works Yard. This is something that doesn't need a ton of extra advertisement. It's super busy every year. They have to come up with a special traffic plan to deal with everybody coming through, but we do want to just help spread the word as to what the accepted items are. This isn't an opportunity to get rid of commercial refuse or just extra trash. This is really targeting those hazardous waste items around your home that you maybe have sitting there you may not know how to get rid of, and give our community a chance to clear out these items in a safe and healthy way. If you do want to go to this, take the chance to go to our front page of our website and look up some of the details for traffic plan, what's accepted, what's not accepted, and do expect to wait in a little bit of a line, as this is a very popular event. And then Up next, we have our Earth Day celebration and Ladybug release. This is, plan has changed just a little bit from the initial information that we put out. So we just want to make sure everybody has it on the radar that this will be taking place at Flatiron Community Park on April 5th. Might be a little smaller in scale, but we will do the releasing of the ladybugs and plenty of activities for youth and adults. It should be a great event, and there is several sponsorships within the community that help make this happen, and looking forward to this event as well. And that concludes the current event report for this week. Thank you.
Just one quick comment on the ladybug release. My grandson won't touch the ladybugs because he's afraid of them. But it is something to see all these kids out there with the releasing the bugs and opportunity to hold them in their hands and have them walking on their hands, and they're entirely thrilled with the idea of walking around with a ladybug on their hand. Okay. New business, presentation, discussion, and consideration of resolution number 2504. Bryant.
Your Honor, I can kick this off for you. This is a resolution for the Mayor and City Council to consider tonight as it relates to urging the state legislature of the state of Arizona on respecting local control of municipal government. My understanding is over the last several months, you've been working with the mayor, one of the mayors in the state, Sedona, as it particularly relates to short-term rentals. And there's been various and several issues related to the state government wanting to control housing policy, having to control our short-term rentals, also dealing with our residential tax. And so, Mayor, I think you might want to take it from here just to explain a little bit what your work has been there and why this is important to you.
Well, one of the things that, that they're experiencing that we're not here in this is the short-term rentals have pretty much overtaken a lot of the homes up there. So the people that, work in the community don't have a place to go, and aspects on it. They can't, the teachers have difficulty in finding homes for them to rent because they're all short-term rentals. And they have tried over the years to try to, I want to say, make city legislation to limit the number of short-term rentals, and our state legislation has basically said no. It's open, we can do it whatever the owner wants to do. And majority of the homes have been sold to, I'm going to say, out-of-staters as investments, and they do this in the aspect on it. They're not even living in the area. And so this has really impacted us, or them. Now, what's happening in here in the, in the Apache Junction area, as well as, throughout the state, is our state legislation repeats trying to dictate what cities can and can't do from zoning issues. Like we have, we're very proud of the fact that we have large lots in our community where you can have livestock. And our state legislation has tried, last year they did a bill that said the largest lot that can be zoned inside a city is 1,500 square foot. That's over 25 homes per acre. And that was the largest lot that they could have. And they deemed that the cities could not have areas set aside for large lots. It had to, that was it. Thankfully, the governor vetoed it, but this legislation, they're working on another bill that's, it's now going to be 3,000 square foot. That's 14 homes per acre. And that's, dictating again what we as a community want. They are trying to dictate us to what we can mandate as, type of housing in everything. They're wanting their control and not to have local people in the community voicing your opinions concerning something that they have They're dictating that you cannot have what they call NIMBYs in an area, objecting to what's coming in. One of the other things that we want to do is keep our, I'm going to say, housing and height-wise down, which we preserve our views. And they had a bill that was stated that if alongside, within a mile of a major road, a developer can put in a 8-story building. And so I said, well, first off, what's a major road in the aspect? And they said, oh, it's a road that goes from one town to another. Well, that's every one of our roads that run east and west, go from one town to another. So therefore, we would have 8-story buildings all over the place, and we would have no way of stopping it. So this is some of the things that our state legislation has been trying to do, really. And what my idea of this proclamation is to present it to our legislators in working with some other cities as well to say, really allow local control. You mandate that we have to have a plan, a general plan that goes to the voters and the voters approve it. You mandate this, but now you're violating the general plans that have been voted on by the public, what they want in our community. It is something that just, I want to say, really frustrates me in the aspect on it that they're not definitely listening to the general public in the aspects on it. So with this, I'm hoping to make them aware that we as one of the communities of this, in the state of Arizona, have ideas on what we want in our community. We've already got our general plan passed and it's in place. This is what we want. We want that abilities to keep what we have here. We don't want to have 8-story buildings all over the place. And that's something else in the aspect on it as well. All the casitas, they've passed a bill that now you can have as many casitas on your property that you ever want to put on, which now where's the water going to come from supplying all these people in the aspect on it? Our infrastructure is not set up for, again, 14 to 20 homes per acre. Okay?
That's really it, yeah.
Yes.
First, thank you for laying that out very comprehensively. Everything he laid out for you just now, this isn't this isn't a batch. This isn't a crazy feud. This is going on for years and years. They're always trying to put something past it, whether it's attacking our zoning, whether it's attacking our taxes, and I just wanted to say that I find it's very, very troubling and very sad that we as a city have to pass a resolution to protect ourselves or try to protect ourselves from our own legislator. It's got to stop. I mean, I don't know what angle these guys are going from, but they really need to sit back and realize that whether it's Mesa, Queen Creek, Apache Junction, we are our own entities, and we should be able to shape our own futures. And we really need to put it to them to let them know that this is not an acceptable way to try to change things. I know a lot of people are, I'm new in office, I just got elected, I got a new idea, we're progressive over here. You got to think of better ideas. And I, for one, am glad this resolution is coming to fruition here tonight.
Your Honor.
Yes.
What I'd also like to add to that is, because of the explanation and how strongly we all feel about this, because we are trying to protect the same people who elected us here to do their bidding, that, like everybody, to really kind of challenge themselves. The people that are in this room, the people that normally watch this on the website, the council members to spread around, have people watch this particular meeting. This meeting matters because of the fact of our explanation, how strongly we feel about that, because it is the individual voters that can put the pressure on legislatures to make them stop trying to be Gestapo to the citizens of the state. They want to deal with the state legislature and the state items. Let the cities take care of themselves with their own citizens.
Anyone else?
Your Honor.
Yes?
Like I said to the voting public out there last night, watch how your representatives and senators vote. See what they're trying to do to the cities and towns in this state. They're trying to take away our rights to fund ourselves, supply police, parks, libraries, make sure our roads are good. They keep trying to chip away at our funding, and they're voting that way. And we need the public to watch how their representatives and senators vote. And if they don't like it, vote them out, or let them know that you don't like it. Because you bankrupt the city, we cut the police, we cut the library, we cut everything. And your roads have potholes, and no one's going to fix them. So, like I said, this is a very important first move for us as AJ, but I hope all the other cities and towns get on board with this and really put pressure on our state representatives and senators to let us fund ourselves. We do a very good job. They don't have a balanced budget. We do. So that's my spiel on it.
Yes?
The only thing I want to add to that is what's going on, a lot of what's going on at the state level is partisan politics. And as most of you understand, we're not partisan as a city. We don't declare a party. And we try to run this city as fairly as possible to all citizens. And down in Phoenix, it seems like it's more, here's another feather in my cap, and I'm going to put this legislation through to make that other person look bad. And so, you know, help us out, write to them, tell them where you see things are bad, let them know that, you know, the bills that they're putting forth, 1,700 bills this year alone, ridiculous. So, thank you.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I'd just like to add one other thing. I don't know how many people that are either in this room or will be watching this later understand that in the state of Arizona, we have a very specific item that allows every individual to make a difference, and that is the Arizona right request to speak, which allows you to follow legislature and be able to remark on bills that are coming up directly to the people that are on the committees, to say, yes, you like it, no, you don't, or even to get a phone call where you're able to speak to the committee. And it's a sign-up event. Anybody I gave my card to, anybody who's out there, if you would like to have more information on the Arizona request to speak, which is your right in this state to voice at any time, please give me a call.
Bryant, do we want to read the resolution?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know,
It's a
Evie,
long one.
how we envision this at this point. It's out there in public, the entire resolutions.
Typically, we read the title.
Read the title, or maybe Evie can run through it quickly.
It is 2 pages long, Your
Yeah.
Honor. If you want me to read it, I can read it in its entirety or just by title.
I mean, we could have her read it.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you don't mind
Evie, go
reading
ahead.
it.
Sure. Resolution number 24-04, a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of Apache Junction, Arizona, urging the state legislature of the state of Arizona to respect local municipal government independence and to refrain from adopting laws that negatively impact municipal finances. Whereas the mayor and city council of the city of Apache Junction is elected by its voters to represent and exercise their will and determine the policy direction of the community. And whereas the general plan of the city is approved by its voters to guide the development of the community, and whereas local regulations are necessary to mitigate nuances and threats to the public health, safety, and welfare of individuals and properties, and whereas it is well established that local governments provide critical public safety services and essential community services such as libraries, parks and recreation, and transportation infrastructure, and whereas those services are reliant on limited revenue sources, And whereas the City Council, acting on the will of the voters and under state law and the Model City Tax Code, is empowered to set transaction privilege tax, TPT, rates. And whereas the Arizona State Legislature passed Senate Bill 1131 in 2023, preventing municipalities from charging TPT on residential rentals within communities. And whereas the city lost approximately $1.5 million per year when the state legislature passed and implemented SB 1131. And whereas the state legislature recently wrote House Concurrent Resolution 2021, which, if successful in a statewide election, will prevent municipalities from charging the TPT on retail sales of food for home consumption. And whereas the city charges 2.4% on retail sales of food for home consumption, and whereas the city will lose approximately $3.5 million per year if the voters of Arizona approve this in November of 2025. And whereas the continued assault on city revenue sources by the state legislature makes it possible that the city will be unable to provide for essential public services. And whereas the state legislature passed SB 1350 in 2016, preventing municipalities from regulating short-term rentals. And whereas the state legislature passed HB 2720 in 2024, preventing municipalities from regulating accessory dwelling units and casitas on single-family lots. And whereas the state legislature threatens to pass House Bill 2371 and Senate Bill 1229, preventing municipalities from administering their single-family zoned lots and eliminating their ability to establish lot sizes, design standards, and neighborhood characteristics, all of which are guided by municipality voters in their general plans.
Thank you. Any additional comments from anybody?
Now you're the city clerk.
Well, I do got one more comment. When they did away with the renter's tax, no one got their rent reduced. All it did was take money from the cities, and it's a total failure. And that's what they did to us, and they want to keep doing this. And hopefully, if all the cities and towns stick together and all the people out there realize they need their local government more than they do the state government sometimes, we can get them to understand how important it is to take care of the local governments. You ready for a motion, Mayor?
Yes, we're asking for a motion.
I move that resolution number 25-04, a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of Apache Junction, Arizona, urging state legislators of the state of Arizona to respect local control of municipal government and to abstain from adopting laws that negatively impact municipal finances be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, roll call.
Vice Mayor Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Nesser?
Yes.
Councilmember Hack?
Yes.
Councilmember Soller?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Cross?
Definitely yes.
Mayor Wilson?
Yes. Thank you, you all. Okay. Now we'll go to call to the public. I would like to remind everyone the call to the public is a courtesy and not required by law. It's a time for the public to express their requests, communication, comments, and suggestions. Requests to speak forms must have been completed and handed in to the city clerk before the end of the city manager's report. All issues shall be presented in a professional manner without personal attacks. Under the open meeting law, the council cannot engage in discussions on the issues presented, but may respond to criticism and may direct staff to follow up with the speaker directly or place the matter on a future agenda for a council discussion. There's a 3-minute time limit for each speaker, and I've got two. Unfortunately, I don't have a name for the first one, but its address is 788 South Del Rio Court.
Nobody.
This may be the gentleman who's talking to the chief, and we're dealing with the issue.
Oh, okay,
I'm just guessing, but that's what I'm thinking.
yeah. All right, Donna Carr.
Hi, you know, I got a mouth, always intend to use it. How many signatures would it take to try to get the state legislature to stop pushing forward with a lot of their stuff? Because I know when I got 400 signatures to try to stop the whole reclaim water stuff, to not put sewer water out people's faucets, I was told a few months after I handed in the signatures oh, we understand, but we're still moving forward with it. So I'm just wondering how many signatures would it take? And I'm willing to go out and get them. I have no problem there. And if you could just give me the bills that they're passing so that I can have them on my petition, I would appreciate it. Other than that, I don't have anything else to bitch about tonight. Thanks.
Okay, any comments from the council? Okay, I will adjourn. Thank you.